There is a scene in Elbath in which we see Chopper and Bonney reading a giant book within the Owl Library. Well, it's interesting to see Biblo here. It brings to mind with all three of these characters that they are firsts of their kind in the series, because Biblo is the first animal to have eaten a paramecia devil fruit in the series. Chopper is the first animal, period, to have eaten a devil fruit in the series, and is responsible for introducing us to the human fruit class of zoan fruits, because before him we did not know that humans were also included in the grand pantheon of animals in the zoan fruit category. Then Bonney is the first human to have not eaten a devil fruit in One Piece, but she has been injected with the devil fruit's essence, which is completely unique onto itself. Then her ability, the age fruit, is a very unique devil fruit because it introduces the concept of timelines and what ifs to the story of One Piece, something that has not existed beforehand. And through her imagination, she can pull out completely alien possibilities and weaponize them for her own benefit, which is very interesting. On top of that, I think when you focus on Bonney and Chopper themselves, they represent two different forms of humanity. Chopper representing the practical, whereas Bonney represents the wishes or imagination of humanity. And I say this because Chopper and how he's being presented in the story is always presented from a very practical aspect, in which he is using his medical expertise as a doctor with the intelligence granted to him by the human fruit to solve his problems and to win fights, because it is through his medical expertise and expanded intelligence that he discovered the Rumble Ball, because he's looking at himself and his situation and seeing as how he can push himself further. So we see what the Rumble Ball can do. It is also an introduction to say that Zoans aren't locked down to 3 transformations, and transformations can be personalized for different situations. So we get all of that too out of the Rumble Ball as it's shown off in Drum. Then, when Chopper grows throughout the time skip, we then are introduced to the idea, or at least the idea is set in stone, that through practice and your mind and body catching up with your abilities, these extra transformations can be accessed naturally. And now the mystery is, what exactly is Monster Point, and why is that the only one locked off with the use of a Rumble Ball? But seeing as how he can control it now does too emphasize again his growth as a Delver user. But going over to Bonney represents the imagination of humanity, the whimsy of humanity, because we know that all Delver fruits are born out of the dreams and wishes of people. So her Dofru, more so than any other, uses this as a weapon, because in being taught about Nika from her father, she is able to replicate the powers of Nika to knock out Alpha. And we see this through the joint flashback of herself and Kuma. Then, upon seeing Nika, who in itself is a human ability, as Luffy's power is the power of the human fruit model Nika, she is then able to copy Nika and all of its abilities. Now, I don't know if that's just based on Delfruits inherently being the dreams and wishes of people, or is that because Nika himself is a human power, technically, as it is of the human fruit model category. You kind of see what I mean? So I say that to say that it's very interesting that both of them are two sides of the same coin, Chopper being the practical and Bonney being the imaginative. So that's why I think too that Bonney would be a great addition for the crew if she does join, because she does add something to the overall crew that was not there before. And it's a very important aspect to the narrative. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What's